Okay, let me show you what I did again. I took some wire, took some strands out, cut them off, leaving a fairly thin strand. I went ahead and tinned it. And I'm going to go and actually I'm going to trim this one a little bit shorter. That's a little bit too long. I can do that. Once you tin it, it's easier to work with. You don't have the strands going all over the place. I'm going to go ahead, put an angle on it like that. Oops, 90-degree angle. There, like that. So, see it? 90-degree angle. Let me go ahead and feed it in on the other side. So I'm putting in black wire, or positive, or hot wire, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully I'm being clear in my electrical terminology. Feed it in like that. Alright, down, down, down. You see it like there. Okay, push it down until it rests on top of the row bed. I'll take either a knife or some other pointed object and turn this wire underneath the rail joiner like that. And should... Okay, here we go. Put it under, position it under like that. There we go. There, hope you can see it. Just like that. Just right underneath. I think you can see it right there. Okay. Right there. That's where it is. Alright, you can either touch the solder to it using your rosin core solder and put the whole thing, solder up against it, or you can use the disc method that I've discussed in anyway, in my my turnout series. Essentially, you take a razor blade and you just cut a piece of your solder off like that. This thing's getting a little dull. If you can see it there. Cut a little disc and take it. And what this does is give you a controlled measured amount. Just lean it right there. Hopefully you can see that. And you touch your soldering iron to it. And there you go. You have your wire soldered to your rail joiner. So that's pretty much how you do it. Pretty much all it is. So I will go ahead and do everything else. And once you get all these soldered, I'm just going to take a little black paint and touch it up, and it'll hide the solder. And if you need to do any cleanup, if you get a little bit too much solder on, you can just take a little needle file and clean that up a little bit. But that's pretty much all there is to it. So go ahead and get everything else soldered in place, and I'll show you how I tie everything in to the terminal strip, and then attach the terminal strip to the layout, and then we're done with wiring this section. Take two. Okay, now I've got all these wires, feeder wires, soldered to the track above. Got a whole bunch of them coming down. You see some more in the background there, and some more over here. So now, further on underneath the layout, there's a nice little tangle of wires I'm going to have to attach to the tab strip. So let me go ahead and get on with that. Alright, now this is excuse me, lovely little mess down here, but I'm going to start making sense of it. Essentially what I'm going to do is take all these wires and start attaching them to the terminal strip, and if the wire is a little bit too long, the feeder is a little bit too long, then I'm going to go ahead and trim them down before I attach them. And I'm going to put my terminal strip, finally, once I have all the wires tied on, go ahead and screw it in underneath there with some 3/4 inch screws. I'm just letting it hang loose right now because it's a lot easier for me to put the wires on here than to try to maneuver under this bookshelf. If you happen to have a lot of free space underneath, then more power to you. This would be a lot easier to do, just to go ahead and attach it and then put the wires on, but I kind of have to work around some of the constraints I have. So that's all I'm going to do now. I'll show you the finished product when I'm done, when I have all the wires attached. So you'll get an idea of what's going on. Alright, well, before we had a nice big tangled little mess. Now we've got a little order here. Let me zoom in and you can see what I did here. Hopefully we can get this focused. So there you have it. That's pretty much how at least I do it. You can take some of these techniques, change them, modify them. Your mileage may vary, or you may want to try something different. But now all I've got to do is fasten this to the bottom of the layout like that, and then I'm done with wiring this section. I have other sections of wire, but I'm just going to be repeating the same steps that I've done here. So once I get all that done, I can start moving towards ballasting that section of track. So hope you enjoyed this particular series. Take care.